Um, Hi, and welcome to our Netflix review podcast. I'm Arabella,
And I'm Isabel
and today we will be reviewing the movie Enola Holmes.
on Netflix. So basically, Enola Holmes she is the younger sister of Sherlock Holmes, and she's younger by quite a lot. So Sherlock and his brother Mycroft are grown up, and she has grown up alone with her mother, with her mother in the countryside. And one day, on her 16th birthday, she wakes up and her mum is missing. And basically, so she escapes from her brothers to go and find her in London. Yeah, other things happen, but it's a stupid plot anyway.
So, do you want to start with our rating of the movie?
Yeah. So we are going to give it a number rating if you want to, for some reason, you still want to watch it and you want to avoid spoilers. What would you say?
Well, I would say a solid 5 out of 10. Plot was a little distracting, but I give it 5 points for having Helena Bonham Carter in it.
I'm going to give it a 3. I said 2 before. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10 because it was pretty bad, but it had some redeeming qualities. Yeah.
So, not really up there, but...
Not really. I think probably the first thing that I found the most annoying was the fourth wall break narration.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my, I did not like that at all. She narrates it by just at random points just turning to the camera and doing like an office style, in the office when they tell us to, but yeah. It's so annoying. She does it so frequently, and I said to you, I feel like I'm watching Dora the Explorer.
Yes. She's like, can you find my backpack? No.
Yeah, no, not a fan of that. And I felt like it wasn't necessary. I felt like it dumbed it down a lot because there were a lot of things which you could have just showed rather than having her come outright and say it.
Yeah, I agree with that, point of view, kind of, with perspective. I also didn't like that the plot was really all over the place. I described it as me telling a story, too long and gets off topic every 5 seconds. Because, halfway through the movie, they have, a plot change, and then from there branches off other problems, and it was just all over the place.
I agree, and then when they go and they try and figure out who's trying to hunt down, what's his face? Basil Weather. It's so random because I had no idea it was even a mystery in the first. Which is, if you're making a Sherlock Holmes movie and I don't know it's a mystery, that's probably an issue.
I think maybe we should introduce the characters.
We should probably. So, the main character is Enola, which she mentions about 5 or 10 times through the movie that her name is Alone backwards because she's quirky like that. And what would you say her main character trait was?
Being not like other girls. She made it very clear she knew jujitsu or she didn't know how to embroider.
She doesn't really have any of her own character. Her entire character is that she's not like other rich girls. It's so stupid. Anyway, so she is about 2 hours. She's really annoying, and all the staring at the camera. I know, not a fan. And then she meets up with this escaped, I think he's a Viscount, whose name is Sir. What is it? Something Basil Weather, and he is the worst. a really stupid point, but this is the thing that probably annoyed me the most about the entire movie is that he has like really long hair, and then she has to cut it off to disguise him, and she takes a knife. She
sharpened on a rock.
that she sharpened on a rock. We see her go to hack off his hair, or hack off his hair, air quotes. It's a wig, very obviously. And then the next scene, he's got this like perfect One Direction haircut. I'm sorry, but when she was living with her mother and she was learning jiu-jitsu and tennis and poetry or whatever, did she also learn hairdressing? It's...
Yeah.
Yeah, his character trait is that he likes gardening and not normal things that a lord does. So, really compelling characters. Yeah, wow. Compelling characters here. Yeah, so that is that for characters. So, not the absolute best. Something that I thought was not terrible was I think they put a lot of effort into making it look nice.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not so much into the actual script, but yeah,
I lacked a little there.
I did like they put up all these like vintagey title cards and stuff. I like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they really.
It's kind of.
They made the sets look nice.
And if we're talking about stupid plots, we have to talk about the. I'm sorry already. We have to talk about the chest plate.
Oh my. Yeah, so basically throughout the movie, someone hired a hitman on Basil Weather. Yeah, and at the end, it turned out it was the grandma. And so when Basil Weather and Enola go back to his house to like face their problems head on, hitman, for some reason the hitman basically fails. Dude, like rest in peace. And then the grandma whips out and she's like, gotta finish what we started, And so she like takes a gun and shoots Basil Weather and like he falls to the ground.
Basil Weather, about 5 seconds beforehand, had been almost dead on the floor, incapable of moving because he'd just been choked out by the hitman guy. And then Enola runs over and she's like, oh no, Basil Weather, you're dead, that's so sad. And then he's like, but I'm not dead, because during this time, between which he had been choked and was dying and his grandmother steps out and shoots him, he has somehow managed, without anyone noticing, to get up, go over to a suit of armour, disassemble it, and slip on the chest plate under his clothes.
So basically we see him lying on the floor and Enola's crying and the grandma's like, yippee. And then he whips out, I'm not that stupid or whatever, and then pulls off his shirt and there's the chest plate.
How did... I was so confused because I saw that and I was like, has he had it there the entire time? It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. What did you said something about you thought it was the corset?
When this hitman just randomly started trying to murder Enola, he sort of stabbed her. He like hit her with the knife and we're all like, oh my god, she got stabbed. But no, she whips out and she was wearing the corset and that like blocked the knife from getting her. So I thought they would tie that in to like Basil Weather being shot.
And he's somehow wearing a corset.
But a chest plate was really out there.
Yeah, it was so stupid. And we're supposed to care about his character when he was on scene for like 10 minutes total. And he had absolutely no personality traits aside from...
Yeah. And also the scene before. So throughout the whole movie there's this hitman and... I'm really upset because this family had so much money and they couldn't hire a decent guy to do the job. He had so many opportunities to kill him, and he just didn't. Like, in the beginning when he was, like, trying to push him out of the train, there was nothing stopping him from shoving him. He just couldn't.
Enola, who weighs about 100 pounds, manages to overpower him and push him out.
And at the end, also, like, when they were trying to hide from this dude, he was so blind that he just couldn't
Thank
see
you!
Warner.
They were it wasn't even dark. They weren't really hiding. They were sitting up against the wall, sort of.
Like
they were
Like
just
sticking
next
out.
to a suit of armor, and he was wandering around. And he was like, "Oh, where are they? Oh, like, no,
They're right there.
They're
Yeah.
right
Right there, you idiot.
The other thing that really annoyed me.
Yeah, this hitman.
What'd you say?
No, nothing. Go
Yeah. The other thing that really annoyed me was the she communicates with her mother through these codes.
Oh my lord.
I get that she's, kind of a genius because Sherlock's a genius too, but they played it up so with the stupid Scrabble tiles.
Yeah, she was like, they gave her some superpower because she pulled out like Spencer Reed IQ.
She did. She wishes she was Reed. Meanwhile, Basil Weather looks like Reed. I'm still upset about the boy band haircut. I'm
Pretty
not gonna lie.
iconic. It did give him a bit of a glow up.
Yeah,
Give him a bit of a glow up.
give me a little bit of blow up. The anagram was so stupid, and then you know what? I honestly think that they shouldn't have made it Sherlock Holmes because there's kind of no point.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sherlock was in it for like 5 seconds and had absolutely no plot relevance.
Yeah, literally.
They
They
could
just used his name.
exactly. They just used it to click on it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
They could have not made it Sherlock Holmes at all, and it would have been exactly the same.
I don't know, I feel like we should talk about the plot with the mom just up and leaving. And then, so basically, she leaves to be like go fight for women's rights, and,
Yeah. Basically, she like leaves to go like fight for suffrage or whatever, but she doesn't tell Enola because it's like dangerous, I guess. Except for the fact that Enola literally lives in the middle of nowhere with no human contact. Who is she going to tell?
Yeah, like the chrysanthemums in her
Exactly.
room.
Who is she?
yeah, she comes back all, I'm sorry, like, too dangerous or whatever. Like, I don't know, I feel like the mom just really abandoned her there and comes back like, XOXO, you got my letter, or whatever. Or I got your letter. So, but definitely her character gets a lot of points by being played by Helena Bonham
The
Carter.
scene where she and Basil Weather are being chased by Lestrade, and they and they go back. They go back to where she's staying, and basically Lestrade's trying to break through the door, and they're blocking it with a chest, and then he just leaves. Yep.
Pretty much.
She's just like, oh no, go, you'll die. And he's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Like, she will too.
Yeah.
And then Lestrade, who's like an old man, like, he breaks through because Basil Weather has left her there. He breaks through and he's like, oh no, we've got you now. And she just stands there with the window wide open for her to jump through. Like,
Yeah.
he could not chase her. The window's like wide open. She supposedly knows jiu-jitsu, but she's just like, oh no.
And she just stands there like, you got me, guys.
Oh, no, that's so sad.
Like, and there was like a solid second where this dude like turns around to the old
Exactly.
the lady renting out the room, and he's like, help me. Like,
But
she just stood there.
They could have both gone out the window. So
and just
stupid.
close the window to slow them down a bit.
And then she gets captured, and we get this pointless plot. Like, we get this pointless, 15 minutes where she's at this finishing school, and it's so
random.
it just drags the plot along, and it was stupid. And then
sure.
and then he shows up, and he puts her in a basket
In a trunk, and gets her out.
and gets her out somehow, and she manages to somehow escape from the headmistress's office, which makes no sense because
Just jumps out the window and is perfectly meeting up with Basil.
I don't see why she
needed
needed him if she could just go out the window the whole time.
Yeah. Just need the right window or something, apparently.
Just need the right window or something, apparently. And the scene I guess before the finishing school.
I think only personality of Mycroft, which is
the oldest brother, yeah.
The oldest brother
that Enola
was saying that Enola was his ward and
responsibility of property. That was
responsibility of property. That was the only thing I think.
Yeah, they were not.
Basically,
I don't understand how you can do an adaptation of characters that have already been created. The work has already been done for you, and you still manage to give them one personality trait.
Yep.
Okay, I could understand a bit more if it was a completely original story, but someone has literally already made these characters. It's like if someone... Well, I was going to say if someone wrote fan fiction and didn't flesh out the characters, but that happens in literally every single fan fiction. So it's not... it's like... But... It I don't know.
Yeah. Their
characters weren't very expanded on. They probably think they did by giving them one main personality and then giving them tiny quirks about it, but
No.
That just made the characters a little annoying.
Yeah, more than a little annoying. And
I feel like the movie was a little too long.
It was
2 hours for just they just carried it on too much.
They did. It was
unnecessary detail.
It actually felt like someone had taken a book and tried to adapt it, and then tried to fit every single thing in. And when you do that, because when you do that in a book, you've got 400 or 500 pages to do that. But when you do that in a movie, you're not going to be able to give enough time to each thing, which is why we end up with the women's suffrage. I can't even really say subplot because it was barely a subplot. It's barely talked about, and it's meant to be one of the main points of the movie. Yeah. Except that we've got that going on, and then we've also got her running away from Mycroft, and we've also got, for some reason, apparently it's a mystery, and she's trying to figure out who's trying to kill Basil with her.
And then the random pine cone in wool.
I was just about to get to the pine cone.
They made such a big deal out of it when they could have touched upon, in the time they spent talking about that dang pine cone, they could have talked about more about the women's suffrage and how, not just it was the reason that the mom left. And they didn't even talk about it. They didn't explain. It was a big plot that they could have talked about.
Yeah, it was a good look, because basically they were like, oh, women's suffrage existed. And then the only time they went into any detail about it was to say that they were going to blow something up. So... Yep.
They just found a box of bombs.
Yeah, not the best look.
Yeah.
What happened to the bomb?
They all blew up in that scene with Enola, whenever the hitman was trying to kill her.
How did he survive that?
Yeah, I was wondering. He was left trapped in that building with all the bombs, and...
Because those were meant to be... one of those bombs was meant to take out, a few people. He's in a warehouse with bombs that are probably meant for a few dozen, maybe even a few hundred people. it blows up and somehow he's completely fine.
Yeah, not even a scratch.
Was I supposed to think he was dead? Was that supposed to be a reveal? Was that supposed to be a reveal at the end? When he shows up?
Wait, maybe that actually. Now that you're saying that, like, low key, maybe that was like suspense.
Survival? Except that they didn't.
Yeah.
They never mentioned it afterwards, and she never mentions to. I hate saying it to Basil whether that she kills him.
Yeah. I honestly don't know that. I'm telling you, this movie's all over the place.
Yeah. The fact that I didn't realize it was meant to be a twist says a lot.
Yeah. Trying to look.
Yeah, I'm trying. Wait, this is not very well organized.
I know we talked about liking the casting.
I don't know if I would say I liked the casting. I just think it had a lot of good actors in it. I feel like they just kind of like threw famous people at it. Yeah. I'm surprised the guy who played Basil Weather, I'm surprised they didn't just get someone random, not random, just one of their Netflix actors.
Yeah.
Because they've got a rotation of like 5 Netflix actors.
They use it for everything.
That they use for everything. But this has like legitimate like famous people, not just like Netflix famous people.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest. The only reason I wanted to watch the movie was because of Helena Bonham Carter. Like, I had no interest in the movie before, and then I saw she was in it, and I was like, I'm watching this movie. And she got like 10 minutes of screen time.
Well, they put her face up every 5 minutes.
Guess, but like some flashback with her playing tennis or fighting her.
Yeah, she had a solid like 3 lines to Enola.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you can even call it a romance. It was so stupid. They set it up like it was like something was gonna happen and nothing happened, and I was like, am I supposed to be rooting for this because I find them both really annoying, and he just looked like the male version of her. He looks exactly like they've got basically the same face, and that was really weird. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but I feel like they were trying to have us root for a romance, but like they just didn't make it happen.
No. Yeah. I mean, I hope they don't make a sequel, because if they do,
that'll be like 4 hours.
If they do, I'll probably watch it and then hate it. How long have we been going? Okay, we've got 25 minutes. We should wrap it up.
Okay.
So.
Any like final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Should you watch it? It's not terrible. But don't go into it if you're watching it because you like Sherlock Holmes, because it's not a mystery or anything. Okay, it is pretty terrible. If you find Millie Bobby Brown annoying, which I do, don't watch it because she's especially annoying in it. No, just don't watch it.
Like, if you just have 2 random hours that you don't have anything to do, like, go watch it if you just want to waste time. But if you're sitting down for, like, an honest mystery, I wouldn't recommend. But if you just happen to, yeah, I wouldn't say, like, go watch this movie. But, like, it's not the best mystery. And also I feel like they were trying to make it like all about female empowerment, but they made it all like no men. Like she didn't want to marry, she didn't want to like date this dude.
But there's still romance on it because Netflix.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
It's so you don't have to do female empowerment by having her beat people up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was it? Was it directed by a woman? Enola
Was it?
Holmes. I want to know because I feel like it wasn't direct. No, it was directed by someone called Harry. So very much not a woman.
Unless if Harry's a girl. No.
Harry is a bald man, so I don't think so.
Of course. That's
Yeah.
probably what he thought female empowerment was.
Yep. Yeah.
Beating up people.
So, yeah, in conclusion, I'm changing it back to a 2 out of 10. Not a fan. It was trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really started getting bored after like 40 minutes. I went to like pause it to see how much was left, and I had an hour and 20 minutes, and I was like, no, I can't. I was like, I have to see something with Helena Bonham Carter.
Did you watch it by yourself?
I watched it with my family.
Did they stay the whole time?
Yes. My sister did not want to, but
Mine left after an hour and just left me there.
yeah, honestly, it didn't intrigue me in any way.
No, it didn't intrigue me. I feel like it was written for our demographic, and yet it was super boring.
Their own, like, I don't know, back to like the single personality trait. I think the single personality trait of the movie was having Millie Bobby Brown, because I feel like they thought that would be like make the movie suddenly interesting.
Bobby Brown plays Millie Bobby Brown.
And that was it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's it.
We wouldn't recommend.
Don't recommend. 0 out of 10 recommend. Okay. Alright, well, thank you for listening. We will be back at some point. Who knows?
Yes.
Watching something.
Bye.
Bye.